Welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be going through P6 WA2 Nan Hua exam paper. So this is question number 33 on basically is on population living together as well as population control. Okay, so bird P is a pest. Okay, so it's a bird, okay, found in large number in area where people live. The droppings may carry diseases that are harmful for people. So NEA, being the Singapore Environmental Control Agency, they introduced this substance S to the food of bird P in a town. So the graph shows the changes in the number of birth and death of bird P after S was being introduced. So you take a look very in this graph, right? They state that the death, right, it seems that it remained the same. Okay, remain constant, okay, after introducing S, but the birth decreases. So that means there is less P being born or being hatched in this case. Okay, so in this case, right, to give you some more context, right, this substance S is more like a avian contraceptive. Okay, so basically it's a chemical sterilant. Okay, it's a substance that will interfere with your reproductive cycle of birds, preventing them from producing offspring. So over here is probably number one, it can prevent them from laying eggs. Okay, prevent them from laying eggs. On number two, they can after the eggs is being hatched, right, prevent the hatching of the young. Okay, this is two ways that you can look at it. So maybe the birds can lay eggs, but then the eggs cannot hatch, or worst come to worst is that the birds cannot even lay eggs. Okay, so this is how this substance S is being worked in a real life scenario. So first question, they ask you define population. Okay, so this is actually more of a memory question lah. Okay, so this one very quickly, very straightforward. So most school will try to in their WA2, they will more or less test something like this. So basically it's a group of plants or animal, or you can say a group of organism of the same kind, living, reproducing at a given place and time. There is many ways to write this, and some of them can be direct retrieval from your textbook. So let me give you the other three methods. So you can say a population is a group of organisms of the same kind means same species are living and reproducing in a habitat, right, or in a given area. So the textbook answer, this is actually can be found in the textbook interaction P5 to P6, page 22. Okay, so a population is a group of organisms of the same kind that live together and in a particular place. Or you can even consider this group of organisms of the same kind living in the same habitat and reproducing. So the key ideas will always be a group, same kind, living and reproducing. And most of the time people will just forget about this reproducing. Reproducing is actually the part that most students will forget about it. And you have to take note, the young and the adult of the same species are considered as one population. So in this case, right, let's say you got 2 caterpillar, 3 butterfly, they are considered one population. They are not 2 population. Okay, you should count them as one. Okay, likewise for your tadpole and frog. Okay, so these are the usual common example that will come out in your own MCQ. Okay, so let's move on to this. Based on the graph, suggest and explain how substance S affect the population of birds. So you need to do a few things. You need to suggest, you need to explain how S affect the population of birds. So quickly, very quickly, you can just suggest, right? You can look from the graph, state what's happening first. So after S is being introduced, the birth rate decreases while death rate remain constant. Okay, so in this way you can put it in this part. Okay, a substance S causes a decrease in birth rate but does not affect death rate. So you can think of it, the substance S is not really like a poison. It doesn't kill the bird. Okay? It only affects the reproductive cycle of the bird. Okay? So you cannot say this is the poison. Okay, so the explanation as to why do you see this trend, right? You should focus your explanation on this, the birth rate. The death rate, you don't really need to talk more about it anymore. Okay, so explanation, you can say bird S prevent the bird P from reproducing or laying egg. So first part, you actually talk about this, right? Number one, cannot lay eggs. Okay, that hatch causing population of P to decrease over the month. Okay, or you can say less egg is being laid. Okay, so maybe it could lay eggs, but less of it. Okay, because some birds may not be affected by this. Okay, but most of the birds will be affected by this. That's why the birth rate decreases. Okay, so fewer eggs laid will hatch, causing the population to decrease. Both are fine. So the main idea is to talk about the reproductive cycle is being disrupted. The eggs cannot hatch. That's why the population P decreases. So in this case, you see the question population of bird P. So your answer is somehow you need to include this population of bird P to decrease in both answer. Okay, so with that, this is more or less the main idea as to how to answer this question. Okay, thank you very much.